Welcome to Community Church Warrenden's Young Church. I am so excited that you decided to join us today. We're going to start out with our new verse that will be for the rest of the month of January, and then all through February we're going to work on this verse. It is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, and this is what it says. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. This verse is really a special verse because it really gives us some wisdom for our entire lives. It tells us that we need to trust or depend on God for everything with our whole heart. And it wouldn't say that we need to trust God with our whole heart if it was impossible to trust him with just part of our heart. A lot of times we might think that we're trusting God, that we're believing that he can help us and that he will show us what we should do. But a lot of times we still worry and we don't really believe that he's going to help us and give us the strength that we need. But his word tells us that he will. And so this verse is a great reminder to us that we need to put all of our trust in God. What does it mean to trust him? It means to depend on him. It means to talk to him and tell him about what is going on in our lives. It means to ask him to show us what we should do, where we should go, how we should act. It means that we depend on God for everything. So let's go over this verse again, and this time we'll put some motions to it. That always helps me remember. So it goes like this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. He will show us which way to go. That's what that means there at the end when it says that he will direct our paths. So that is the verse that we're going to be working on together each week through the month of January and February. And as always, if you can say it, you need to have your mom or dad or caregiver send a video to me and I will pop a prize to you in the mail. So make sure that you work hard on learning this verse. I know that you can do it. You've got a lot of time to work on it. So what we're going to be talking about today is actually the man who wrote the book of Proverbs. And we're going to be talking about Proverbs for the next few lessons that we get together. So this is really, I think, a story you're going to like a lot. There was a man by the name of Solomon, and Solomon grew up as a prince. He was King David's son, and he grew up in a palace. He probably knew a lot about what a king did. But when he became a king, he felt like it was a very big job. To rule over a lot of people and make sure that you're making good choices and right decisions is a really hard job. And one night when Solomon was sleeping, he had a dream where God came to him. And it was not just a dream, it was something that God was really saying to him. God said to him, "Ask me for whatever you want and I'll give it to you." Wow, that would be amazing. Have you ever thought about that? If somebody said to you, "Ask me for whatever you want and I'll give it to you," what would you say? Would you say a load of sweets? Or maybe some brand new toy? A bicycle? That's a really, really hard decision. And this is what Solomon said. Solomon didn't ask for anything like that. He asked that God would give him the wisdom to lead the people that he was over as king. Wow, that was a really wise choice, actually. And God was very pleased with the choice that Solomon had made. He said, "You could have asked me for a long life, or you could have asked me to give you great riches, lots of money and fancy things. Or you could have asked for victory over your enemies. You could have asked to be the best at everything." But that is not what Solomon asked. Solomon asked for a wise heart. And God said, you are going to be wise like no one before you and no one after you. I will give you the wisdom that you are asking for. And I'm also going to give you those other things too. I'm going to give you victory over your enemies and riches and a long life. Because God was so pleased with how Solomon treated his request. He could have asked for anything, but he asked for wisdom. And so the book of Proverbs is what Solomon wrote. And so there's all kinds of wisdom in that book. And that is what we are going to be learning for the next few weeks about the book of Proverbs. And the reason I chose these lessons for us to go over is because a lot of us are living in lockdown right now. We are home all the time. We are with our families all the time. And I don't know about you, but I've found when I am closed in and can't go too many places and I am with the same people all the time, I need more wisdom than any other time. And so I think we all need wisdom in how to make good choices during this time. We need wisdom on how to be kind and treat the people that we are with all the time. And so I thought this would be a really good time for us to focus in on the wisdom that Solomon had. He was the wisest man that ever lived. That's what God said. He said there wasn't anybody wiser before you, and there's not going to be anybody wiser after you. And so that's what we're going to be taking a look at over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you tune in again next week, and we will talk about some of the wisdom that Solomon had to give us. And we will keep working on our verse. So let's go over our verse one more time. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Bye. Have a great week.